Good morning, everyone. So today my topic would be about cost retrieval in SEO campaign. Now, before I begin, let me tell you like what is the importance of SEO in one's business and why cost retrieval is an integral part of that. So, like as you've seen the graph in the last few decades, paid marketing and SEO have improved like leaps and bounds with paid ads with almost showing more than 3% in terms of conversion ratios, whereas SEO have near about 2.8 percentage of the conversion. But the thing is that in paid advertisement, the return on investment can be a bit scary at some times. So the things can be quite obvious because, like with paid advertisement, as you move on and work, things can diminish because like utilizing paid marketing can sometimes be like renting your spaces online, whereas following an organic strategy can be like deploying a long term strategy where you can get a better ROI to meet your end goals. And definitely, even paid marketing such as PPC also happens in search engines. So, definitely, like if you really want to get crowd in your business, then search engines are the place, and SEO should be one of the important parameter. And as a matter of fact, like being organically visible always means that your business can get the most out of it, because if your business is visible online, then it can attract good amount of trust, good amount of scalability, credibility, and most importantly, this can reduce a lot of the other marketing scope and the budget, and you can reframe or you can rewire the strategies to make sure that you have something towards the long term goals. So as you can see the diagram, so this is actually a flowchart of how a search engine works, but the reason I am showing you here is because that in any search engines, it doesn't matter if it is Google or Bing or even any other search engines, few basic principalities remains the same. As you can see that every search engine follows by a query. So any user, me and you, can give a particular query, and once the query is like rendered by the search engine, it then crawls and it defines with multiple indexing or fetching and various ranking algorithms that like on basis of which kind of information that ranking would be shown on the search. And this is a basic principalities which all the search engine follows. It's only about the algorithms which is different for different search engines. And as you know that in the traditional way, SEO have multiple matrices like backlinks, keywords, domain authorities, contents, and XYZ. Now here's the interesting point. Standing here in 2023 and even after COVID, uh, like businesses have went online in leaps and bounds. As per Statista, just from the first tier countries, more than 300,000 businesses are getting live every single day. And this is only about the first 3 or 4 countries data. If you compare almost on a data scale of the first, second, and the third countries, there are probably more than a million websites which are being live every single day, which means more competition, and the internet is becoming crowded every single day with new websites, new businesses, which means that every single businesses like are competing, are trying to compete with one another. And having said that, just following the traditional matrices will not work anymore. This is the era where if you provide more relevant information towards your end user, if you really cater towards the rightful intent, serve the intent of the audiences or your target customers, and most importantly, if you really provide useful user experience, this is where you can gain the most momentum out of it. Because just think about that, like the internet is booming with more sites bombarded every single day, and there are various niches which are similar to one another. So competitions are getting more tougher, and it is becoming very difficult to just nail down onto a critical point so that you can get an edge over the competition. Now, having said that, traditional SEO metrics, as you can see, these are just few of them, are important, but we need to go beyond them. So this is where cost of retrieval comes into the play. So in a simple language, cost of retrieval is is a factor that is used by the search engines to understand like how much efforts they are taking in order to understand the information present on your website, and like what is the like how much comfortable they are in showing that to the end user. The more the comfortable they are, the better will be the result. So this is a simple you can say a mathematical relation. If you have a low cost of retrieval, you'd be having a higher efficiency, and a better efficiency means that Google or any other search engines would understand that this website is providing a better user or a customer experience, and this is very important in the latest SEO industry because things are getting more complicated, and if you're doing an easier job in educating the search engines that my information is precise, concise, and to the point, and I'm just serving the rightful intent for my audience, this is where you get the most out of the efficiency and you'd be having a low cost of retrieval. So now, further elaborating, cost of retrieval have four stages, as you can see: the indexing cost, the query processing cost, the ranking, and the delivery cost. So here I have an example for you. So starting with the indexing cost. Now just for 1 second, imagine that Google is a librarian. So the thing is that if you think that indexing cost as a librarian, then just imagine that if a librarian can organize the books and it can be found easily, then obviously a librarian would be more happy, because if a librarian finds that okay, all the books are organized, it is easier for me to serve for my visitors, then this would be greatly organized. And same thing happens for search engines. Now in search engine, what really happens is if a search engine crawl a particular website, stores the information in rightful order, and here the point to be noted is crawling. So a bunch of the websites, specifically for the e-commerce or B2B, crawling issues are one of the most deadliest issues that can drain your percentage of the visibility from your campaign. Moving forward, I'll even highlight what could be some of the important crawling issues that can be generated on a particular campaign. Next, on the processing cost, once again think Google as a librarian, and just imagine that the librarian is finding it difficult to understand what book you require or what book you are looking for. So similar for search engine, if the search engine finds it difficult to understand what your content is speaking about, or what exactly you are trying to you can say like what exactly you are trying to get out of the context, so the better you can make it easy for Google to understand the context of your landing pages, the better would be the query processing cost. The third one is the ranking cost. So once again think Google as a librarian, and this time think that librarian is sorting the books in order of relevance. So any visitor who comes and they needs a high demand book for a particular niche, so the librarian can just simply grab and give them, and the low priority book can be that can be deprioritized. So similarly for search engines, websites can have hundreds and multi thousand and even millions of pages. So it's very much important to prioritize proper pages of which will be important and which will not be important, and which need to be prioritized and which need to be deprioritized or following some protocols, and this can help to improve the ranking cost efficiency as well. And last is the delivery cost. Once again, just imagine that Google is a librarian, and the actual effort, there is a typo actually, so the actual effort by a librarian to get you the book. So if the book is too far away, suppose my visitor wants a book and the book is just 50 meters away, so librarian would just quickly go and grab that. And suppose the book is on different center or not even available, so the librarian would be finding it difficult to deliver the book. Similar thing happens for search engines as well. If Google is finding it too difficult to fetch the pages or acquire the information or even retrieve the data, then this would increase the delivery cost that would ultimately decline the ranking performances. Now, one by one, let me sort the things in a common way. Few mistakes which should be avoided to control all the four. Just to go back on this slides, all the four cost of retrieval components: indexing cost, query processing, ranking, and the delivery. So starting with the very basic one, the content relevancy. So everyone know that a relevant content is important, but hardly anyone use a natural language processing for that. So if you open patents.google.com, Google uses an like a NLP, which is known as LDA, latent Dirichlet's allocation. So this is an AI algorithm which actually can help you to find what is the relevancy score for your particular content against a particular set of queries. And the more the relevant your content is, the more would be the chances for you to outrank your competitors. And this is one of the most basic thing which people misses out. People just follows blindly that, okay, my copywriter did a great job, I have a good relevant content. But the point is, what is the proof? You just need to justify yourself mathematically, and this can be done with the help of natural language processing. If you are making notes, you can just write LDA. It's not here on the slide. So you can just do a research on that. So this is like an algorithm that can help you to predict what is the relevancy score of your landing page against a particular set of queries. And you can easily understand. You can do A/B testing. Maybe you can take 10 of your competitors, you can calculate their scores, and you can check your score. And if you find that your score is off the mark, you can definitely rewrite or rephrase your content, try to make it more better, and this can get you an edge over the competition. Kind of in business intelligence. Next one is the topical authority. So the information of your website should be from viable sources. So if your business have any prominent authors, any of your employees or any of your senior leadership team, if anyone have a proper entity, they can be an author, they can be a blogger, they can have a significant social media engagement. So search engine tracks all of this data as entities, and the more the viable the data source is, the greater would be the topical authority. And any content coming from a topical authorized sources would be considered more important for businesses rather than just generic terms. Poor user experience, this have been always the concern. So it's very much important for people to avoid poor user experience that can happen both in terms of content and technical parameters. Content can be improper content which do not serve the proper intent, and technical parameters can be poor load time, or even if it is not fitting rightful in the devices, like multi devices, tablets, phablets, or any of the systems which people are using. So now let us discuss as how we can optimize to reduce the cost of retrieval and few actionable strategies. So this is like a generic overview, even though there are more, but mostly for most businesses, I must say that for more than 52% of the businesses surveyed online across 7,000 campaign, this this 7 to 9 parameters are mostly common for much of the B2B and e-commerce campaign. I'm not going into the B2C for now because that would just stretch the time. So having a simple sitemap, having a clean internal linkings and unique topic per page, reducing the unnecessary URLs, decreasing the unimportant pages, decreasing the render timing and HTML requests. So we will go through them one by one very quickly. So first of all is this sitemap. So everyone knows that, like for the people who are not from the tech background here, let me tell you that a sitemap is a file of a website that helps search engine to find what are the total number of URLs present on your website. It is just like a blueprint which one can see when someone enters into a shopping mall, kind of a floor blueprint, like a blueprint. Like, okay, this is the building diagram. So okay, like this much floors, this much rooms, this much staircases. So sitemap is a similar thing. It's a complete map of a website that comprises of 100 percentage of the URLs, and you just need to declare which URLs you need to prioritize, or you need to crawl frequently or not frequently. And this is where people messes the things out. People, I have seen that people just builds a sitemap, puts on the site, end of the story. But things should not be like that. People should deprioritize the unimportant pages from the sitemap, prioritize the important pages, set frequency whether a particular content should be crawled more frequently or less frequently, can be a daily to up to a year. And even this can, like, even you guys can remove unwanted page from the sitemap if you want Google to like not index them, such as your refund policy pages, maybe your like maybe some terms of services, or maybe your, like, if someone is using a B2B, even unwanted category pages can also cause a devastating effect on the same. So sitemap optimization is one of the first priority. Then it's very much important to optimize for the internal links, because having a better internal links can really help you to, like, really help the search engines to easily navigate through the website. Just think of a big shopping mall which have all the floors connected to each other in multiple segments, multiple escalators, multiple lifts, multiple staircases. Similar thing happens for a website. If all the pages are having a better internal linking structure, then search engines will find it quite convenient for them to crawl. And once again, if you remember, I mentioned crawling. So crawling would be very much improved by just having a clear internal linking strategy. Then it is important to create a unique topic per pages, because this is a very good concept to avoid confusions on the search engines. Because sometimes, just so I give you an example, like, if you guys have seen the Apple website, apple.com, you would find that they have clearly like divided all the pillar pages properly, all the iPads under one section, and only the information about the iPads just comprise of, like, there is, like, if iPhone speaks about iPad, they will not even use anything on iPhone or comparison on iPhone or nothing like that. The reason is quite simple. They just want an unique topic for a pillared pages. Yes, sometimes per page might not be possible depending upon the business volume, but it's very much important to have an unique content distinct declaration per segmentation, because this really avoids much of the confusion going forward as what that page is trying to mean. And this prevents multiple ranking for similar keywords, which can later lead to an issue known as cannibalization, which is one of the deadliest online marketing mistakes. Just like I mentioned before, so like deprioritizing the unimportant pages can be a rightful method. Just one important point here to note is that unimportant pages can be deprioritized, or you can find them by a number of factors. For example, in GA4, you can do an analysis and find which are the orphaned pages, like the pages which serves very low impressions or low traffic or even high bounce rates. In Google Search Console or Bing Search Console, you can even find the pages that is yielding less impression volume, less amount of, you can say, like, less amount of click-through rates. So these are the pages which are not serving very much importance to your website. So you can solve them by three quick strategies. The first one is you can just redirect them to a meaningful pages if you feel like there is a more meaningful pages version of that. Secondly, you can just deprioritize that in sitemaps, in robots, or just declaring in the, like, in the coding structures. And last but not the least, if you still find that the page is not performing well, you might try to reconsider the page and change the entire stereotype of the content, the structure, the entire pattern, I would must say. Because like sometimes even after several like optimization, still things does not improve. In that particular scenario, like the best option to optimize an unimportant page is to just change the content and test once again. But it's very much important because an unimportant pages can once again like cause an issue towards the cost of retrieval, and this should be taken care. So just once again for the non-tech people out here, so the thing is that for any search engine uses a bot which is known as Spider, and that is nothing but just a crawler, like just a scraper or crawler, whatever you say. And if a site is using an excessive amount of JavaScript, then this can cause a delay in crawling because spiders are not very familiar in crawling JavaScripts. So it is very much important that you go out to your IT department or your dev team and tell them that the request size should be HTML. Obviously, JavaScript would be there, but higher the request size should be from the HTML sources, and the JavaScript should be optimized. So I'll not discuss much into the JavaScript because that is a separate topic, but few things that can be done is minification or like shifting the JavaScript towards the end of your page so that when a page loads, the HTML, the CSS, the images loads first and then the JavaScript loads. So a lot of other things can be done as well. So the ultimate point is JavaScript optimization should be done because having a large number of JavaScript can be quite harmful for a campaign. And this is what I meant by a proper user experience. So a user experience does not simply means that okay, you are having a fast load response, or maybe you have like you have a nice good UI. Yes, those things matter, but what more matters is core web vital. As you can see, so core web vitals are critical pointers which have been introduced by page speed team of Google, and they outlines how a page responds to a user. So there are, I think there are 6 point. I'm just showing 4 of them here, which I'll not go into the in depth. But the thing is that there are a lot of. So so core web vitals can help people to understand and make sure that things are totally in track. So now just moving into the last few slides of the section. So you can also use the LLM, which is kind of the future of the marketing, using a large language model. So the thing is that Google, Bing, Microsoft, these people are investing more towards the large language model of AI for understanding the queries generated by human, because 52 percentage of the queries are new every single day, and Google or any other search engine does not even have an idea what those queries even mean. So with the help of large language model, similar to what ChatGPT is using, kind of similar thing, they're trying to they're trying to use a machine learning module to understand what that particular query can resonate towards a landing page, and then they uses all other sorts of ranking algorithms to justify that if that can help them or not. Uh, One of the very critical point is to use a structured data or schema markup that can help your website to get rich snippets, which you can see on the screen. So this is the last slide probably. So last but not the least, like having an optimal cost of retrieval in simple terms can help your campaign outshine in Google, because if you are making the job of search engines easier, they will really make your ranking go highly efficient and outrank your competitors. We have performed that for 2 of our campaigns just like prior to this event, one for upperkey.com, and as you can see, right after implementing cost of retrieval strategy, impressions have went up significantly. And here is another example. So the moment cost of retrieval, like if you are cutting down the cost of the budget that search engine is spending on your website, then they will reward you for the same. So this was the ultimate, like this was the main thing, that you just like doing an SEO is not the big thing, doing a PPC is not the big thing, doing a social media is not the big thing. What is important is to make sure that you have the right framework, and you should make sure that not only having a right framework is important, but you should be having a clear and definite goals as what you should be doing, because not everything is important. SEO can have more than 1000 factors. Not everything is important for all the business. It's very important that where the campaign is struggling, and just work to reiterate the process from there. Thank you.